Good. I might take off my socks because I want to look fancy for you guys. Whoop. All right then. Let's go. Let's get started. All right. Welcome, everybody. My name's Sade, if you haven't met me before. And we're going to do a foundation class today, all right? So we're going to kind of work on all those basic steps, talking about pelvic floor, talking about the pelvis and core activation. This is really nice if you've been doing Pilates for some time, maybe with us, and it's just really nice to kind of switch back into understanding how our body works and use these tools throughout your Pilates journey and in everyday life because it's going to help us out, all right? So let's get started. We're going to start off sitting down, cross-legged. We want to make sure that our sit bones are resting on the floor. So you're sitting upright, nice and tall through the spine. And we're going to place one hand on the tummy and then the other one on the lower tummy, okay? So one above, one on top of our stomach and then one just below the belly button, okay? And we're just going to relax those shoulders down, away from our ears, crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. If you want to, you can close down the eyes and just really visualize your body in space. We're going to try and breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. And as we breathe in, I want you to feel underneath your hands how the belly is expanding underneath the top hand and then into the bottom hand and then out of the bottom hand, then the top hand. So you're kind of flowing through into the body, into the base of the belly and then out. Good. So as we do this, let's start talking about pelvic floor activation. So inhale into the top hand, into the bottom hand, really release, relax. And then as you exhale, I want you to think about engaging pelvic floor, lifting up. And you can feel the air escaping the hands. So a little bit more about pelvic floor. It's those muscles that kind of hold us together. Yeah. So for example, if you need to go to the toilet and you're thinking, oh, I don't need to go right now, so you have to try and hold it in. It's just a very gentle hold in, yeah? You're not trying to grip and hold anything. It's just about 30, 40% activation here. Inhale, release pelvic floor. And then as you exhale, engage pelvic floor and the air escapes. Good. Let's do this 3 more times. Breathing in. And then exhale, engage. Inhale, release. And exhale, engage. 1 more time, breathing in. And exhale. And then continue breathing on your own. Relax your hands down by your side or onto your lap. Visualizing that pull up every time you engage. Good. Then we're going to take it down onto the floor, lying down on our back. So let's make our way down, talking a little bit now about neutral spine. So we've got the back of the pelvis nice and heavy into the floor. There's a slight curve in our lumbar spine, that lower back. You can probably fit perhaps your fingers just underneath, maybe not all the way, just a little bit. You've got your upper back, thoracic spine, nice and heavy in the mat. Then there's a little curve in your neck, cervical spine, so that's elevated from the floor. And then your head is nice and heavy on the floor too. So from here, we're just going to continue breathing, just as we did. You can place your hands onto the belly if you want to feel that rise and fall of the belly. Still trying to activate pelvic floor every time you exhale. Feet are planted onto the floor, knees are bent. This is going to help you achieve that neutral spine. Then from here, we're going to talk about the pelvis. So you're going to get the heels of your hands and place them onto the bony bits in the front upper pelvis here, ASIS. Once you've done that, you're just going to relax your fingers pointing down towards the pubic bone, and then your thumbs are probably going to come together. So you're creating this triangle shape right in front of the pelvis. And from here, we're going to go into some imprints. So you're going to breathe in. You're in this neutral spine. As you exhale, engage pelvic floor, and then begin to rock the pelvis back, pressing that lower back into the floor. This is your imprint. As you inhale, you're going to release back to your neutral spine, and we can try and exaggerate that arch in the back. So just really tilting away into an anterior tilt in the pelvis. So now you can definitely fit your hand underneath your lower back, and then exhale, engage pelvic floor, going back into that imprint. Inhale through the neutral, and then exaggerate the curve of that lumbar spine. Good job, everybody. Let's do this 2 more times. Exhale, imprint. And then inhale, neutral through to the anterior tilt. And last time, exhale, imprint. And inhale, neutral, anterior tilt. Now let's try and find that neutral again, somewhere in between. This is where you're going to find the fingers, the thumb, and the heels of the hand nice and even on one plane. Then from here, we're going to release the hands down by our side. From here, we're going to breathe into the side of the ribs, into the back of the ribs as much as we can so that we can maintain a bit of connection in the front of the body. From here, we're going to practice our pelvic curls. So let's go into an imprint first. Exhale, rolling and pressing that lower back into the floor. Once you're there, I want you to continue to roll through the pelvis. It reaches up, 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 up into a bridge position. Okay, so pelvic curls, they have many names, maybe like a pelvic roll, bridge roll, I think, things like that. And as we breathe in at the top, I want you to exhale, drop down your sternum, ribs, waist, and hips, rolling through the spine, each vertebrae at a time, then find that neutral again. Breathe in, exhale, rolling through. Remember to activate pelvic floor, finding that bridge position. And then exhale, rolling back down. The reason why we like to start with this pelvic curl is to really release through the front of the hips, especially if we're sitting down a lot of the time during the day. We get really tight in the front of the hips. So this is really important to practice stretching and lengthening through the front of the thighs, front of the hips. Good. Breathing in and exhale, rolling up. And exhale, rolling down. We're going to do this 4 more times. Enjoy this little massage of the roll in your lower back. Good, you're at the top. Really thinking about trying to create a hammock shape with the body as well. I feel like sometimes people think of a bridge that kind of goes up and over. Rather, I want you to think about kind of dipping down. So really trying to rotate that pelvis under, find that imprint, and then roll down. Good, we've got a couple more. Really pressing into the heels, activating those hamstrings, activating those glutes. Feel a little bit of a squeeze and rolling down. We've got 1 more here, guys. Good job. I can feel my muscles now starting to work, starting to activate. Good. We're going to roll ourselves down. From here, we're going to go into leg lifts. So let's start off with the right leg lifting. I want you to breathe in here. And then exhale, bring the right leg up to a tabletop. So we're in a neutral spine. Breathe in, lower it down. And exhale, lift the left leg. Inhale, lower it down. So here, I want you to not think too much about trying to grip through the front of the hip. Rather, I want you to think about the deep psoas connection. So that one muscle that connects the leg straight to the back. And we're also trying to engage the deep core muscles, okay? So really trying to sink that belly button down and connecting it down towards the spine. That's going to help you really connect in the core, okay? So I'm giving you all these little tips, all these little cues here and there. Put that in your toolbox and then take them out throughout classes as you progress through different types of classes. Whether it's strength, whether it's stretching, whether it's a flow. Sometimes you're flowing from one move to the next. You've got to know how to switch on, okay? So from here, do our last one on the left leg. Lower it down. From here, we're going to combine 2 exercises, our pelvic curl and our leg lift. So let's roll ourselves up into that hammock shape from the knees dipping down to the shoulders. We're going to do our leg lift here. So let's transfer the weight into the left foot without shifting too much. You don't want anyone to notice that you've put all that weight into the left foot. From here, we're going to lift our right leg up to a tabletop and then lower it down. Breathing in. As we exhale, lifting up. And then inhale, take it away. Good, let's do this 4 more times. In Pilates, we really try and focus on our breath, as our breath really helps with control and connection in the body. If we have too much air in the body, it's hard to really engage in our core. So that's why we emphasize the breath out. Then you can really engage in movements that require a little bit more strength and movement. So that's why we exhale to lift. And as we take it away, inhale to release. Yeah? Exhale to lift. And inhale to lower it down. Good job. From here, we're going to lower ourselves all the way down to the floor. Nice. All right, from here now we're going to go into our chest lift. One of the main exercises, working on that core directly. We're going to interlace the hands, take it behind the head. Elbows aren't pressing into the floor. They're slightly elevated so you can see with your peripheral vision. From here, you're going to breathe in. Exhale, really sink that belly button towards the spine and then lift the head and chest, looking just through those knees. And then from here, lower yourself down and exhale, lift. From here, pause at the top. Can we breathe in? And then exhale, roll back down. Really requires us to activate and hold ourselves up. Exhale, you hold here. Breathe in. And then exhale, sink back down. Breathe in. Exhale, roll up. Try and breathe into the side of the ribs so that we can maintain that connection at the front. And exhale, rolling down. Let's go 2 more times. Really close the gap between the sternum and the pubic bone. And rolling down. 1 more time. Coming up. Good. From here, we're going to lower down maybe halfway. So you're somewhere in between the chest lift and all the way down. From here, we're going to come into a hula. So we're going to exhale, curl ourselves over to one side as we're trying to lift up a little bit higher. Inhale, coming back down. Not all the way, just halfway down. Exhale, reaching over to the other side. And reaching halfway down. Good. Already I can feel those obliques switching on. And down. Doesn't matter about how fast you go. In fact, the slower you go, the more difficult these exercises become. Really rest your head into those hands and keep the pelvis nice and steady. Try not to tilt back with the pelvis. Try to make it all about the core, not the pelvis. Unconsciously, it tends to try and get involved to make the actions easier. We're just trying to have a little bit more control with ourselves. Good, everybody lower yourself down. Rest and breathe in for a moment. We're going to go into hundreds, okay? One of the classic Pilates moves. Everybody loves it. Just kidding. It's the worst. No. Let's have some fun. From here, we're going to do a leg lift up and then the other leg lift. So now we're in a tabletop with those legs, okay? Make sure it's 90-degree angle as best as you can. If you feel like there's too much going on in the front of the hips to try and hold everything together, you can allow those knees to fall in towards the chest a little bit more. From here, we're going to lift the head and chest up so that you're looking in between the thighs. If you have any issues with the neck, especially if you're just new to Pilates, we can interlace the hands behind the head for some extra support. Otherwise, from here, we've got some options. You can watch me first, and then we can go ahead and do this. So option number 1, we have the legs in a tabletop, and we do our pulses here. Let me just go through the breath. You're going to pulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then press 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's just breathing in 2, 3, 4, 5. And then exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Every time you're trying to get up a little bit higher. Option number 2 is to take the legs away from you. Okay? That makes it a whole lot more tricky. Okay? So you can choose to keep your legs like this, or you can choose to take them out. Okay? That's the full version of 100. If you want to, you can combine bringing them in. And then exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2. Yeah? So let's try this all together. How are we going? If you need to, you can bring maybe one hand behind the head so you're always doing your pulses, but you're not straining in the neck. Let's do this all together, okay? 100. Let's count. And up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway there. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring it in and resting down. Nice work, guys. How are we feeling? Just because it's foundations doesn't mean it's easy. All right, so we're going to go into a spine twist now, just to release the spine and also work those abdominals and find how we can keep a hold and strengthen as we release. That's a lot about what Pilates is about, yeah, mobility. So let's take those hands out to the side. They're not above the shoulders. They're a little bit lower into this V position. Keep the feet on the floor for now. Really bring those ankles and knees, glue them in together. And from here, we're going to tilt over to the right. So bring those knees over to the right. You're not going to lift your left shoulder at all. Keep it planted down on the floor the whole time. You can notice how my foot stays attached to the other foot, so it actually lifts off of the floor because of that. From here, we're going to exhale, come back through the center. Inhale, we reach over to the other side. This is to protect the spine, and then as we exhale, we have that strength to bring those ribs back, pelvis back. And then again, reaching over, inhale, and then exhale, ribs, waist, pelvis, sequentially moving out. We've got the pelvis, waist, ribs peeling off slightly, shoulders stay on. And exhale back. Another version is to bring the legs up to a tabletop and do the same thing. Inhale, reaching away, it's more challenging. And exhale, bring it back to center. A lot of people think they have to reach the floor, but you don't actually have to. Just go as far as the shoulder is able to stay on. As soon as it lifts off, you've gone too far. You're probably going to tip over. Good. All right. So from here, we've got one more each way. Right side, inhale. Enjoy the little release, especially after that hundreds that we just did. And last time to the left. Really focus in on that breath. Good job. All right. From here, we're going to come into a leg circle. So we can keep those legs bent for now, hip width distance apart. We're going to bring the right leg up to a tabletop and then extend the leg up towards the sky. From here, the arms are going to go out to the side, maybe a little bit higher than they were before. From here, try and find some external rotation from the hip. That means that the heel is going to be in towards the midline, toes kind of going towards the outside. All right, but that leg is straight up, right above the hip. Let's circle it now. We're going to start going towards the knee, bringing it down, and then around. Very small circles to begin. We're working on centering. So this is a little challenge for the body, noticing that it's having to turn on, switch off, make sure that you're nice and steady. If you want a little bit more, extend the leg nice and long. We can make that circle a little bit bigger. The pelvis might rock over like a spine twist. Then it's going to circle down to the other foot, out to the side, and right above you. Okay? And nothing in the shoulders is showing that you're having to do a little circle and lift the pelvis. Okay? It should look nice and easy. One more time this way, and we're going to reverse it. If you need to bring that knee up, you can do that as well. Make the circle a little bit smaller. So we inhale away and then exhale around. That breath is going to help you connect and keep everything together. That's why the breath is so important. If we keep holding our breath in, that movement gets all jolty and everything starts to shake. Everything's wobbling around. Okay, so let's inhale, exhale. Nice. Bring it down. Other side, if you want to keep how you did from the first time, keep that knee bent, find that external rotation, take it towards the knee first, down and around. The breath, inhale, and then exhale, circle. And then start to take those progressions if you want them. Make the circle a little bit bigger. Inhale over, pelvis might lift, and then exhale around. Good focus and control, everyone. Perfecting that technique. And then you'll notice that everything becomes easier. We're going the opposite way now, away from the body, and then down and around. 2 more times. 1 more time. Good, coming back through the center, bend and extend that leg nice and long. From here, we're going to roll up. Reach those hands up overhead. And then from here, you're going to bring the hands above the shoulders. You're going to reach up into a chest lift with a breath in. With your exhale, you're going to reach all the way up into a roll up. So we're trying to reach the top of the head towards the toes. Reach those hands further forward. This is a nice little spine stretch moment. Breathe in. And then exhale, bring that belly button back. The belly button leads the movement. And then reach up overhead. We do this again. If that was a bit challenging, let's bend those knees in. Really try and press the whole foot into the floor. We reach those hands maybe down by our side. We come into that chest lift. If you need to, you can hold on to those knees for a moment to help you up. Okay, so that's our little modification if we need it. And then from here, roll back all the way down. Good job. Hands come up above the shoulders. Inhale. And then exhale all the way up. Reach the head forward. Good. Breathe in. Back. Curl back. Good job. One more time. And coming up. This time we're going to stay up. Spines. Good morning. We're going to cross those legs again, okay? So this time we're going to do a little seated spine twist. So we're going to have our hands out to the side, and then we're going to exhale to twist. 2 little pulses. Breathe in through the center, exhale, twist to the other side. Let's speed it up. Let's go. And twist. We're trying our best to stay nice and steady in the lower half of our body. Yeah, it's all happening in the upper back. And then you're looking to the hand that's going behind you. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job, everybody. We're going to bend those knees, plant those feet back down in front of us. We're going to drop our knees over to the left. You can readjust if you want to make sure that you can still see me. All right, so I've got my left knee kind of pointing out to the side, and then my right knee pointing right in front of me. Right foot is in towards my body. From here, arms go out to the side. We're going to do a little mermaid side reach. So from here, let's tilt over to the right first. So my hand is going down towards the leg that's folded next to my body. I'm going to do a nice little side bend here. Reach that hand overhead without trying to bend in the elbow too much. Keep the arm long. And then coming up to that T pose. From here, we tilt over, just getting those fingertips onto the floor. Stop here. We're going to find a little twist. So with the hand that's in the sky, it's going to try and thread itself underneath the arm. You're going to look to where that hand is trying to reach to. From here, we open back up, and then exhale, coming back up. Reach all the way over. Good. Inhale, coming up. Find that diagonal reach. And then twisting under. Good. Make sure that you're doing it the correct way. If you're doing it the opposite way, then you're not going to feel so comfortable. Good. We have a nice little reach, keeping the arms straight. Good. Tilting over towards the knee that's pointing sideways. Exhale, twisting under. Inhale, coming up. We've got 1 more after this. Exhale, reach. Good. Inhale, over. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open. And then sitting upright. Good. Let's go over to the other side. We're going to lift those knees up and then tilt down. I'll try and face you guys, so I'm just going to turn around. From here, we're going to have our hands out to the side. We're starting off by going over to the left. And exhale, reach, reach, reach. We keep that arm straight so that we can feel the stretch in the side of the body, okay? Otherwise, we probably wouldn't feel much of a stretch if that elbow was bent. Good. Finding a twist here. Inhale, open up, and upright you come. Exhale, reach, enjoy. This is really good, very healthy for the hips as well, trying to find that little stretch over. This twist is fantastic for the spine. Good work. We've got 2 more. Reaching up and over. Keep those shoulders down and relaxed. Good. Find that twist. You're just resting on the fingertips, so you're really focusing on trying to pull that belly button in. Good. That was our last one, wasn't it? Good job. If you want to do an extra one, let's do an extra one. Little twist. I'm always up for those extras, guys, for good luck. All right. Bring those feet in front of us, and we're going to do a little roll back with the knees bent. Starting off with our hands underneath those knees into the creases of the knees, lifting up tall. Breathe in. From here, exhale, start with the pelvis rolling under. Pelvic floor activation. Did we forget? Always wanting to try and engage every time we exhale. We're going to keep rolling down until the arms are straight. Once they're straight, you're still looking forward. Breathe into the side of the ribs. And exhale, lead with the top of the head, coming forward and restack the spine. Breathe in. Exhale, rolling back. Arms are straight. Guys, if you want a little bit more, you can release the hands. And then coming forward and up. Keep those arms lengthened in front of you. Exhale, rolling back. Pause, breathe in. Exhale, rolling forward and up. Maybe the hands come up. Woo! Good. Really working on strengthening that back as you do that. Hands come forward to roll down. Pause, breathe in. Exhale, rolling back up. Okay, this time we're going to reach all the way back down to the floor for our abdominal series. We're done. We want to feel that burn. Let's come up into a single leg stretch. So from here, if you have any issues with the neck, again, please use those hands behind the head. Maybe you just want to use one hand. From here, the full version without the hands resting behind the head, we take one leg out in front of us while the other one is bent in. We hold on with those hands and then swap. Every time you swap and you pull the knee in, exhale. Good. Let's go for another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. From here, we're going to go crisscross. Hands do go behind the head. We reach towards one knee that's coming in and then to the other knee. So you're turning towards the knee that's coming in always. You're trying to maybe get those elbows towards the knees. They don't necessarily have to touch. Instead, think about the shoulder reaching towards the hip bone, like you're trying to put on a seat belt. Good. Can we do this for another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last exercise in our abdominal series. Really lift up. Take those shoulder blades off of the mat. From here, take the, let's start with the hands. Inhale, the hands go back. Exhale, they come in. If you have your hands behind your head, maybe it's just the legs. So you're going to inhale, take those legs away. And then exhale, bring it back in. The lower those legs go, the more difficult. Do the full version. Hands and legs maybe. Then bring it back in. We've got 3 more. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. And pull it in. And last time, pull it in. Rest the head down. Looking side to side just to release the neck. Sometimes there might be some tension built up if you haven't been doing these exercises before or for a while. All right, from here we're going to roll like a ball, which is a little bit of a step forward from foundations. We're just trying to understand how to really curl in the spine, especially that lumbar back. Okay, we're just going to do a few of these and we're going to finish off sitting up. So I want you to come up into your chest lift. Really hold on to those shins. Now maintain this shape the whole time. You're not going to open and take the head away from the knees. We're going to inhale, rock back, exhale, come up to sit, but don't let those toes onto the floor. Find that curve, especially in the lower back. Rolling through the spine, inhale and then exhale, come up. Inhale back and exhale, coming up. Really try and hug those heels in towards the bottom a little bit more. It's nice and tricky, this one. Let's go one more time and we're going to stay up. Good job. Pilates is fun, okay? From here, we're going to do a spine stretch properly now, okay? So let's have those legs, let's make them hip width distance apart. We're going to keep those hands onto the knees. And the focus is definitely on the spine. It's going to feel a little bit nervy. From here, going to drop the head down, so the chin towards the chest. You're looking to your legs. Reach the crown of the head over the toes. Reach those hands forward. And here you can probably feel that nervy stretch behind the knees as well and in the spine. Really hug that belly button in. Don't let yourself collapse forward too much. You're trying to find that curve. Breathe in there and then exhale, rolling back up, okay? If you find that it's too much for your back, when you roll yourself down, instead point your toes and look towards your feet. That's going to release the any pain that you might be feeling in the spine. Otherwise, keep those feet flexed and keep looking down. Rolling yourself back up. To make this more challenging, reach those hands forward and keep them up, just like we did for our roll back. Rolling forward, breathing in, and exhale, rolling back up. We're going to take it another step. You can come with me if you want, or you can keep going as you are. Exhale, rolling forward. From here, we're going to lengthen. So we're trying to reach and lengthen that spine into a nice diagonal shape. And then exhale, coming forward and up. Shoulders rolling back every time. Good job, guys. Rolling forward with an exhale. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then touching the toes almost to roll yourself back up. Let's go one more time. Almost there. Exhale, rolling forward. Elongate that spine. And then rolling to come back up. Good. Drop those hands. Let's bend those knees and let's face each other. From here, I'm actually going to lie down onto my left side. Okay, we're going to get into those glutes a whole lot more. Are we excited? Yes. Love the glutes. From here, now we can lie down onto our arm. If you guys have any shoulder issues and maybe bending the arm in is going to feel a little bit more comfortable, maybe you have a pillow or a block that you can rest your head on, and so you don't have to put too much pressure on that shoulder, it can come forward. Otherwise, resting on your arm, we're going to have those knees bent. You're going to make sure that the hip isn't collapsing in towards the armpit and that lower side belly isn't kind of collapsing into the floor. You want to take that hip, take it away from the armpit. That's going to help you engage in that underneath waist, okay? Perhaps you can feel right underneath that waist that there's some activation. Maybe you can even fit a finger or two just underneath that waist. From here, we're going to maybe keep that hand in front of us just to make sure that the ribs aren't poking forward. You're nice and connected in the abdominals. Now we're going to lift the knee. So we're doing our clams and then lower it down. You want to make sure that those feet are kind of in line with our pelvis and our sit bones. And you're going to lift not too high. It's not about rolling the pelvis back to get more lift of that leg. It's about activating the glutes. Maybe they just lift up a little bit and then lower back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower back down. As you exhale, really engage. Keep nice and steady in the torso. Inhale, back down. Fantastic. I'm going to do at least 10 here, okay? I want you to feel this work in the glutes. Good. So about halfway there. Let's go for 6 and 5. Maybe you want to bring your hand onto your pelvis to make sure that your pelvis isn't rocking back. Yeah, good. So there's options, yeah? You bring your hand in front, bring it to the side. It's good so that you can feel the activation, see where you need to work. That's why we use our hands sometimes to really feel that. All right, one more here. You're going to lift and lower. Now we're going to do the full top leg lift. All right, so you're taking the ankle off and the knee off, but you're not letting your pelvis rock back. Everything's nice and steady still. Yes, really trying to activate those glutes. Maybe you want to get your finger, index finger, and really poke onto your glutes. Make sure that they're activating and they're not just being weak there, okay? Really find that activation right there. In Pilates, we need to focus on what we want to work, because if we just move our body without thinking about what we're trying to do, it's just not going to work for us. Nothing's really going to activate correctly. You're going to feel the exercise somewhere you're not supposed to, maybe. So it's always good to just check in. What am I trying to do? How am I supposed to breathe? What am I supposed to activate? And then you're going to be feeling fantastic afterwards, okay? So we're going to go for another 4. Hopefully it's starting to feel that little burn come on. Good. The slower you go, the more difficult it is, especially when you hold it up there for a moment. Last one, we're going to hold it. Here we go. We've got circles. I love doing these circles. We're going to pretend that there's a cloth on our knee and we're cleaning the mirror. Let's go 10 times. One way. 5, 4, 3. Decent circles, not too small. 2 and 1. We've got the other way. Woo! 10. 9. It's always worse the second time. Good job, people. Almost there. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Easy peasy. All right, from here, we're actually going to pick ourselves up and bring ourselves over to the second side. Swiftly, from one to the next. Doing good. Roll ourselves down, and let's get ready to go. All right, so from here, maybe starting with that hand right in front of those ribs to make sure that everything is nice and connected. Those heels are almost in line with those sit bones, so they're not too far forward, not too far back. Good. Then from here, we're going to lift into our clams. Inhale down. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. Good job, guys. Make sure that underneath waist is active so that you're not just resting down too much, okay? Always working. And that's the beauty of Pilates. We just flow from one exercise to the next, always staying focused, so there's no time to really think too much about what we're going to eat for dinner, for example, okay? We're just thinking about our breath. This is our way of meditation, just to continue flowing through the movement. Good job. Really try and work that glute there. So here we go. We can lift that hand onto the pelvis, maybe trying to press into the glutes, making sure that it's activating. Good job. Let's go for another 4. Woo. 3. Good. 2. And 1. Now from here, leg lift, ankle and the knee. Good job. Opening up in the hip a little bit, but not rocking back. Okay, the pelvis stays nice and steady. And it's just from that hip socket, you can feel that femur bone just rotating, rolling in that hip socket. Good job. Lifting and lowering. Up and down. Good job, people. What number are we up to? I always forget. Let's go for another 4. And 3. And 2. Good job. That little hold at the top is what really gets us going. From here, we're going to do 10 circles one way. 9, 8, not too fast. I know, it's like, oh, can we just get this done? No, we need to pursue through those muscle aches. But they're good ones. All right, 2 more. And other way. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift it up, lower it down. Good job. Done with that one. Let's lengthen those legs out and roll onto our belly. We're going to work on some extension. This is really good for us. Yeah, we've been sitting around today in society. It's probably what we do the most is sit on our bums. So let's try and work on strengthening our back. So we're going to start off with our little press up. So let's get those palms down onto the floor and then our head resting onto our hands. From here, you're going to lengthen and reach the crown of the head forward, 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 so much so that your nose starts to come up and bringing the nose slightly forward, just above those hands. And now your eyes can look just in front of your mat. Good. From here, those shoulders are back and you're trying to engage in your abdominals. So you're not trying to press and rest into the ribs. You're trying to actually lift up through the front. You're not trying to rest there. You're trying to lift up. Maybe the eyes come forward just a little bit more. And then we're going to lower ourselves down. So your feet are about hip-width distance apart. They don't have to be glued together. They're not wide too much. Just relaxed back. They're not going to lift up either. You're trying to press that pubic bone into the floor as you lengthen the spine, keeping those hands down. This is our diamond press. Good. We do this one first just to really make sure that we've got the alignment of the spine, of the neck, of our back, and we're engaging what we need to, and then we can progress. So let's keep those hands on the forehead as we do our lift. Good job. And lower yourself down. All those cues, you're using them here. You're trying not to go into the lower back too much, those abdominals, and really work on that upper back, middle back strengthening. Shoulder blades rolling down across the back of the ribs. Good. With the breath, we can either breathe out to come up. I find that that really helps us engage in our core. It's also completely fine if you prefer to inhale to lift up, as long as you're doing one thing. Exhale maybe. Inhale down. We're going to increase this now. From here, we're going to stay up. We're going to reach those hands back. Palms are facing up, really trying to find those shoulder blades. Pinch them in towards each other and then draw them down towards the pelvis. Really lift those ribs off. This is our back extension. From here, we're going to drop our nose towards the floor. Relax those shoulders down onto the floor. This is our basic back extension. You start by lengthening the crown of the head forward. Nose brings itself forward. Shoulders roll back. Lift those hands up. Pinch those shoulder blades back. Find your lift. Not too high. Maybe lower yourself down a little bit. But keep those ribs floating off of the mat as much as you can. And then lower yourself down. Good. Hopefully you start to feel that activation. All those muscles thinking, why are we working today? It's like, don't worry, guys, we didn't forget about you. We're trying to release the pain. So if you have any back pain, it's really good to just strengthen. We always think we need a massage, which is really important that we, get our massages. But you'll notice that after exercising, you start to feel a little bit better. I admit I should be doing this one a lot more in my spare time. So let's do this one 2 more times. Lifting ourselves up. Good. Lower down. Last time, lift up and hold. From here, we're going to pulse the hands back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower yourself down. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Press back into your rest pose, our child's pose. Good. From here, we're going to finish off with some side planks, side support exercises. So when you're ready, you're going to come forward. We're going to come onto our side. And from here, I'm resting onto my elbow. Shoulder is right above that elbow. Top leg is long. If you want, you can keep this underneath leg bent. Hands on the hip. If you want to do the full version will be 2 feet stacked on top of each other. Yep, so we're doing that little side plank. If you want to, you can keep that knee bent. So from here, we're going to do our lift up. Good, and then pelvis comes back down to the floor. Good, lifting up, really trying to activate in that sideways as we lift, and lower. Good, we've got 2 more. And lower, and last one. Lift, see if we can hold. Good, reach that hand up towards the sky, lower the hand forward, and up. Let's go 3 more times. Down, and up, and down, and up. 1 more, and down, and up. From here, you can lower down that pelvis. We're going to bring ourselves forward back onto our belly, but we've still got our elbows down. From here, we're going to lift the pelvis up and then press ourselves into a forearm plank. Hold here for 10, 9, really try and tuck that pelvis under. Reach those heels back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go with the other side, rolling ourselves over. I'll turn around to face you guys. So you're resting on that left elbow now. And then you're finding that leg position, finding that position. Here we go. We've got 4 lifts, up and down. Good job. Hand on hip to begin. And 2, good job. And 1. Now reach that hand nice and high up. Now we lower it down and a lift just in front of the shoulder and lift. 2 more. Woo! And lift. And last one. And lift. From here, find that forearm plank. Finish off. 10 seconds. 9. 8, 7, 6. Reach the crown of the head forward. 3, 2, 1. Knees down. Toes untucked. Rest position. Good work, people. Bring those hands close in towards you. Roll yourself up. From here, we're going to tuck those toes under, bring those heels down towards the mat. And we're going to press down into those heels. Really hug the belly button in towards the spine. We're doing our roll downs now. So from here, the eyes are the last thing to come up. And we're going to lift up nice and tall. Reach those hands up towards the sky. And then bring those hands back down by your side. From here, breathing in. And exhale, tuck the chin down towards the chest. Bend those knees slightly. Find that neutral, but then you start to curl, curl, curl through one vertebrae at a time. Get that curve in that lower back. Reach those hands down towards the floor, but keep hugging that belly button in towards the spine. Drop the head down. Hands are heavy. Pause at the bottom. Breathe in. And exhale, roll yourself up, maybe bending those knees even more to get extra curve in that lower back. Roll those shoulders back. Eyes are the last thing to lift. Good job. From here, we're going to finish off with the hands going up towards the sky. As we do that, we're going to try and lift those heels up towards the sky. Just lift them up. Yep. Balancing. Good job, everybody. Bring those hands down by your side and lower down the heels. Shake those legs out. And we're done. Feel free to do some more stretches on your own. We've probably got some other things on our website that you can check out. Some stretch classes if you feel like doing a little bit of a cool down. Also feel free to do some more strengthening stuff, but I hope you enjoyed. To make sure that I pause this camera as well.